can feel I'm changing. I don't know if I'll ever go back. All the ways that you make me, fill me up on the things I lack. Don't have you now. 'Cause I think I'll make it here. You and only you. I don't know where the time goes. It flies when I hold you close. In my arms with your eyes closed, for the first time I've got hope. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I think I'll make it through now. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I don't think I'll make it through now. If it's you and only. Because it's you and only you. From the start, from the start, from the start. Did you hear them sirens playing? Hear them sirens playing from the start, from the start. Hey, hey, oh, oh, it was hard enough for me to fight the storm. Were you hoping that I could keep us both warm? Hearing sirens playing from the start. Hearing sirens playing from the start, from the start, from the start, from the start. Hey, hey. Did you hear them sirens playing? Hear them sirens playing from the start, from the start. Oh, on s'appelle sur le support. Spice, 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 spice. Обождать так вовсе идет меня. Он забрал всю нашу боль. Спас, он спас, он спас, он спас, он спас, он спас. You say it was to me. Stay a moment while my walls are falling and my heart is beating loud until I hit the ground. Will you stay around until I hit the ground? Will you stay around? Find me in my closet. Can't escape the feeling. We're gonna spiraling down. If you hold me, maybe we can go all in, baby. I'll be yours and you'll be mine. Give me high till
Right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhallan Camp Hill live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night, but it is not just Monday night. It is a very special Monday night. It is a very special week here at Valhallan Camp Hill and all Valhallans around the world right now, because it is the first season of playoffs for the fall season. Did I say the first season? Ooh, This is the first week of playoffs for the fall season. And let me just be the bearers of some great news, as we have a lot of teams that have made playoffs, a lot of teams that have gone undefeated and are the favorites so far, the number one seeds so far. And today we get to start with probably the most teams that we're going to get to see, that being Fortnite. Every single division, every single team has made playoffs, and we are very excited. Tonight, we have the 3 best performing teams of the season so far, the teams that have the best odds. Oh my gosh, I almost fell down. I'm so excited to win, to do well, to maybe take home Coach Kyle's 10 millionth banner at this point. Our primary team, the team we'll be watching the most, the team that has the best odds to do it all, the corrupt Capybaras in Division 3. That team is composed of Gavin and Cohen. Gavin, aka Deepwater Tonight, and Cohen, aka Solar Rotten. Our secondary team, the team we were watching a good amount, but not quite as much as the primary team. Our team with the next best odds to win it all, to go far. And that is our Division 1 team of famous people. That team is composed of Brady, aka BL Mace, and Miko, aka SRW Miko. And finally, most certainly not least, we have our third team, the team we've been popping into here and there, trying to watch a little bit. And this is a team that we know, we love. We know the people at home know and love this team. And that is our Division 1 team of the Chefs. And that team was composed of Jack, aka Chef Jack, and Zarek, aka Z Fight. So we have a lot of good Fortnite tonight, a lot of interesting teams to watch. We suspect that we will see greatness out of all of these teams. That's what we're going to be rooting for. For those of you that don't really know how playoffs work, it's very interesting because a lot of the points from the regular season get erased. Then you get some playoff points based on where you finished in the regular season. And I don't know the exact equation that VHEL uses, so I'm not going to explain the exact equation. But I know that playoff points are a thing. From placement points is what we call them. Each team, depending on how well you place in the regular season, you will get so many points towards your playoffs automatically. So we're hoping that these teams play some high quality Fortnite, play really well, and it looks like we don't have any word for it yet. It looks like Division 1 might be getting started and can confirm. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to tune into our secondary team of famous people and watch them start their Division 1 drop. Again, this is the team of Brady and Miko. We have a lot of high hopes for this team. And it looks like they're actually going to hot drop a little bit. They're going to go to an unnamed POI, a gas station with a building right by it. But a little bit of a hot drop. These guys are going to have to be careful for potentially some early engagement going on. And of course, once our primary team of the corrupt Capybaras gets dropped, we will rotate to them as well. But want to make sure you guys are getting some high quality Fortnite action until that happens. And prediction seemingly is going to be the truth here, as we did see some shots on the wall that Brady is standing right by. So he's going to have to be very careful. These guys are going to have to try and loot up quick and be aware of that name POI that is just a few meters away. And this team of Brady Miko is a team that we've seen just play very consistently. We haven't seen a lot of standout drops from them. It's not like they're going out and getting first places here and there and then performing poorly. They just perform very consistently most of the time. And that is why that they've kind of fought back a little bit and put themselves in a really good position here to potentially do well and hopefully win playoffs. Obviously, that is up for future debate, but we are going to need that continued consistency, especially here in playoffs, from both of these players. And it looks like here Brady is going to work on getting some materials. Let's take a quick peek over to his teammate Miko's loadout and just see what Miko's working with so far early on in this drop. Actually, loadout's pretty much equal here, so nothing really too surprising. Definitely have to be something to keep an eye on as these guys continue to get into some of this mid and late game. And this is a team that typically plays pretty patiently, so it's really going to depend on how they want to play here. And some shots already exchanged. Both Miko and Brady taking a bit of damage. Only a couple bullets landing on both of them, though, so they're going to have to determine whether they want to take this engagement or not. A couple more shots. Looks like maybe to the south or southeast of them. Miko going to join his teammate Brady into this build here. As Miko there takes a big shot, I don't know what from, but breaks his shield, gets him all the way down to 62 health. Now he's going to have to burn that med kit to get back up. And luckily there were some burgers in that house that they were in, but are they going to be able to get to that point? We're not sure. It looks like Brady's just going to throw down some minis for him. Maybe try and give him a little bit of extra protection if they want to make a break for it here. And it looks like that's what they are going to do. Going to try and get some materials back up. Well, I assume that that team that originally started taking those shots was the team that we saw Miko ping as they ran away. So maybe Miko and Brady got a little lucky here. Maybe the other team decided to disengage. Although we do see some shots there on the visual audio, so going to have to be wary of that. And both of them back up to 200 health, so a very good position for them to be in now. Now they just have to dictate what kind of game they want to play. Again, like I was saying earlier before I got interrupted by some combats, is that this is a team that likes to play very patiently, that likes to really pick and choose what kind of engagements that they want here. So I would anticipate that we're going to see that play style, especially now in playoffs. Consistency, very important in playoffs. And this team, arguably one of the best in the arena this season to do it. So, but as they rotate around, I see our Division 3 has started. So we're going to tune into our primary team of Corrupt Capybaras and watch them for a bit. This team is composed again up of Cohen and Gavin. Cohen being split potato and Gavin being deep water. Sorry, earlier I think I said the wrong name for Cohen, but that's all right. We all make mistakes. And if you want to talk about a team that is consistently doing well, I think you have to talk about Corrupt Capybaras. Not only have they consistently been performing, I would say arguably consistently placing in the top 10 of their drops most of the time, but being so consistent that they finished first in the entirety of Division 3. So these guys are going to get a maximum amount of placements points here for playoffs, and are going to try and use a lot of that momentum that they saw from every week in the regular season to carry them into playoffs here to hopefully secure and take home Coach Kyle's 50 millionth banner. I know he's hungry for it. I know these players are hungry for it. And it's really just important that these guys play the style of game that they want to play. Oh, that's Coach Jonathan. He's broken his head. And it looks like here, for the most part, these guys are actually uncontested, so gonna have quite a bit of loot. And we see Cohen pick up the 5 gun here. And the rumor has it that gun is pretty dang good. And I'll neither confirm nor deny that myself, but it'll be very interesting to see how Cohen is going to use that. So just looting around, farming up quite a bit. So while we have a minute here, while these guys are actually, it does look like they pinged an enemy. But while these guys are taking a little bit of downtime, we're going to tune into the chefs and see how they're doing so far in their drop number 1. Alrighty, and it looks like the chefs here actually could be in some combat, as we do see some footsteps on the visual audio indicator, maybe right under them. So only going to be able to watch from Chef Jack's perspective tonight. Same thing in the Capybaras, only going to be able to watch from Cohen's perspective. So gonna have to apologize for the little bit of inconvenience, but we'll still have some Fortnite to watch, so no worries there. And it looks like they're just going to try and get out here. Maybe not going to take that engagement. And the Chefs is a team that we saw do very well in the beginning of the season and kind of struggle a little bit towards the end here, especially with this season change from the past season into this new Simpsons one. So it'll be really interesting to see how they do, what they can manage. These guys obviously identified that their play style that they tried to do the first couple weeks of the Simpsons season was not working. And now trying to make those adjustments, trying to change where necessary, although they are kind of surrounded here. And it looks like maybe just going to sit in the bush for a little bit. Don't have very far to go through that storm, but going to have to try and keep an eye out for the teams that are kind of surrounding them at this point. And while the Chefs continue to sit in this bush here and rotate into storm last second, we're going to go back to the corrupt Capybaras and see how they're doing. Looks like maybe we just missed some combat. Cohen has fallen, and now all up to Gavin here. Actually, it looks like we do see the reboot there very close, so we anticipate that Gavin's going to get Cohen back here pretty early, and these guys are going to be able to go back to full strength. I don't know, because then you look right at him, you look right at you, you hit the trigger, nothing happens, then he shot your head. And that is exactly what we're seeing as Cohen is back from the dead. And now, gonna have to reset a little bit as loadout here is not gonna be ideal, but it looks like maybe even where death happened was not very far away, so Cohen gonna be able to go back and get most of his loot here. And maybe just gonna hang out at this gas station for now, as Cohen is definitely going to need to farm up some materials here and losing a lot of those in his death. And as long as these guys can hang in there, maybe trying to back up, gaining a little bit of distance. They saw some shots there, but it looks like and we are going to see an engagement here. As Cohen trying to maybe rotate around a little bit. He's going to now join Gavin here. And it looks like maybe they're just going to decide to get out. Some shots coming through. Gonna just try and drive out of the way as they run into a cyber truck here. Just need to make sure that they can get out of dodge, as this game has maybe been a little more hectic than the corrupt Capybaras would like it to be. They just need to get themselves in a good position, calm down a little bit, and play their style of Fortnite here. It looks like maybe they're going to drive into the following donuts. No, it looks like they're going to try and get into a bush here. As they are going to take this engagement, and the Capybaras find one knock as they see the teammate come. And they find the second as Gavin is going to secure both of those kills for his duo. And now they're going to have some more loot. They're going to have some more armor. They're going to have some more shield, some more ammo, some more materials, some more everything that Cohen is going to be able to pick through here to make sure that he is refreshed back from that moment of death that we saw a couple minutes ago, and that these guys are in a position that they now want to be very calm, in control of their game. And this is the corrupt Capybaras that we're so used to seeing. As the corrupt Capybaras are kind of swarmed right now. They need to choose a team here, but it doesn't matter because Cohen's actually going to find a knock himself. Now, taking a little bit of damage from that storm, but luckily it's still early in the game, so it's not going to do too much damage to them. They are going to just try and get out of dodge, try to get into that new circle as it has already moved, as they drive into another player, and they're going to find another elim, and that's 4 on the board for the corrupt Capybaras. Although a big shot there comes through on Cohen. And now we're going to see Cohen build up a little bit, try and take height. Although he goes down low, down to 18 health. He's going to have to med kit here. And his teammate Gavin's going to have to buy time. They're not quite into this new circle yet. Still have quite a bit of time before they have to get into that position. And both of our second and third place teams, that is the famous people and the chefs, have both already been eliminated from their drop. So just the corrupt Capybaras left at this point. Don't know exactly how either of those teams did. And Cohen there being pretty aggressive. Doesn't unfortunately find any shots, but gonna wait for his teammate here as they try to move into this circle. And there is a lot of stuff going on at this POI. As they see someone in the bush, but it doesn't matter because Gavin takes him out oh so quickly. And that adds another kill to their count. Another check on their list. As we see some more footsteps right in front of the building in front of them. Right in the building in front of them. Man, I don't know what's going on with my words tonight. And no shields here yet for Cohen, so still maybe not being in the best position possible, but gonna have to go now as they are in the storm, but doesn't matter. Gonna try and find another kill as they do find it. That's 6 on to the score sheet now. Can they find another? Cohen wants it, but he can't find the couple finishing shots there. As we are getting into the late game, into the chaos of late game here. And Gavin actually in a little bit of a bad position, but Cohen jumps in on him quickly. And now Cohen very low, down to 15 health. And Cohen, unfortunately, gonna get knocked. And Gavin on such low health himself. Maybe medkitting up here while he has a second to breathe. And Cohen is gonna get eliminated there. Gavin up to 92 health, still no shield, being very unlucky.
All right, Gav, keep focused on rotation, buddy. Big pots ahead.
And a huge item there in the shockwaves for Gavin. He's able to now use those as some movement. Maybe going to try and find a big pot here. No, just going to drop a weapon for it. He does not have a lot of time. We are going to see the use of those shockwaves. He's going to try and control exactly where he wants to be. And it is all up to Gavin at this point. No securing of that reboot card. And no reboot van even in the circle here. So Gavin's going to have a lot to do. And Cohen going to try and ping for him, but it doesn't matter because Gavin is going to pick up another elim. Finish a player that was knocked there. And maybe a little bit of luck being on Gavin's favor here as he's about as close to that new circle as he can get. I would anticipate to see him build up a little bit here. Looks like he's just going to hide in the bush and he's going to find a team and he's going to find a knock on one with one shot. Can he find the other? And he does, as Gavin is absolutely on fire tonight. 8 kills so far for the corrupt Capybaras. 7 of them for Gavin. And he is playing the best Fortnite we've seen from him. He is putting the team on his back. We would anticipate that he's going to just try and sit in this bush as long as he can. Let's see a vehicle drive by, but just lets it go. Going to try and take some shots here outside of the bush. Does land quite a few, but doesn't find a knock or anything. So we're going to have to start to rotate here. Still has 6 shockwaves. Actually finds another kill on a player that was very low health. And a couple shots here coming through on him. Luckily, he's able to box up quick here. Still electing not to use one of those shockwaves. I'm very surprised I didn't use one to get across the water there. And now he uses it. Gonna use another one. Gonna try and get some high ground here as he finds a 50 shot on one player. And actually finds the knock. That was only 9 damage, but it was enough. Going to use a shockwave here to try and refresh his position. Finds a 22 shock there. Finds another elim. Oh my gosh, what is Gavin on? As he's on 10 kills by himself, 11 as a duo. And Gavin looks like he wants to win it all. As it looks like Gavin's going to have to take another engagement here. And unfortunately, that is going to be the one that ends him. But a huge 3rd place with 11 kills. Absolutely phenomenal. What a way to play for Gavin. And it seemed like, against all odds, he turned nothing into something, being able to take the team into third place with 11 kills in total. And we saw there that end game pretty chaotic, even with Cohen still alive, and especially after Cohen was eliminated. It just seemed like there was a never-ending battle that was going on between Gavin and other teams. And now, what's really important is these guys are going to have to try to calm down, take some deep breaths, relax a little bit to make sure that they are ready to go for this drop number 2. And I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. We talk about consistency. We talk about a team that has just done it so well. And Corrupt Capybaras is the prime example of that team. We just saw why they finished first in the regular season and why they are absolutely battling to try to secure this Division 3 banner this season. Now, unfortunately, even though we saw a phenomenal game from the Corrupt Capybaras, Famous People and the Chefs both got eliminated pretty early on in that Division 1 drop. Now, Division 1 dropped sooner than Division 3, so we don't know exact placements of those teams, but a massive stuff there from Corrupt Capybaras, and we hope that both the Famous People and the Chefs did very well in their drops. But we're going to have a little in-between drop interview here, and we're going to have Cohen join us in the booth for a very quick interview. Cohen, welcome into the booth, and how are you feeling after a phenomenal drop number 1?
That was a great game, yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about these playoff scores, and
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about a little of the pressure. You guys have done this week in and week out, it seems. Finish very well. I would say finish top 5 most of the time. And that puts you in a position where you were first in the division. And now what kind of pressure, if any, do you guys have, whether that be yourselves, from coach, from anybody, to continue to perform well into the playoffs here?
we just kind of take deep breaths and use just our surroundings and block it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. And realistically, in a game like Fortnite, that's all you can do. I want to talk a little bit about now. You were eliminated one time, and were able to bounce back a little bit, but then got eliminated again, and Gavin put in quite a little bit of work there at the end. And I want to talk about what you guys have done throughout the season as a team that allows you both to kind of be in those situations, but to never be down and out of the game.
Just gotta keep communications and just gotta make sure you know your surroundings, and even when you're knocked, you can still provide for the team.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great point there. I think that's a huge show of character from you on your end, making sure that you're still providing some information to Gavin. And finally, I want to talk about, you guys had a phenomenal drop number 1, and we're hoping to see the same thing in drop number 2. But if there was anything you could clean up, anything you wish went a little bit different from drop number 1, what is it, and what are you hoping to improve into drop 2?
Just try to loot up better and get better mats. I did have pretty good mats, and try to stick together more.
Absolutely. I think those are all valid points. Well, Cohen, congratulations on a 3rd place with 11 kills, I believe. Huge drop, huge way to go. And of course, we're going to be up here watching, rooting for you, and hopefully we see the same thing in drop number 2. So thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from Cohen of the Corrupt Capybaras with a phenomenal 3rd place drop. What a game, what a performance that was from those guys. And honestly, I really want to talk about some of Cohen's answers there into that interview. Just huge maturity there from Cohen, talking about putting pressure outside of them, putting pressure away from them, making sure that they're locked in, that they're ready to go. And also the fact that even being knocked, even being eliminated, Cohen is able to provide very useful information to his teammate, that even though he is not actively in the game, he's still in the game, still doing everything he can for his teammate to make sure that they perform well. And I don't know if you heard or not, but it seems like Drop 2 codes are getting up very soon, so we will have some more Fortnite action for you in just a few minutes. Oh, excuse me, but hoping to see a little bit more out of our two Division 1 teams, actually, and didn't get to watch either of them very long because we were really focusing on the Capybaras, but we're hoping to see the famous people and the chefs be able to battle back after Drop 1. Turn on some of that consistency, turn on some of that maybe aggressiveness, turn on whatever it is that they need to turn on to perform a little better, perform in Drop number 2, so that way they are still have a chance in playoff picture. Obviously, both of these teams, all of our Valhallan teams in general want to do well. Obviously, all of the coaches here, everybody rooting for them, all of you guys at home, hopefully. So there, I don't want to say there's no pressure. I would say there's arguably a lot of pressure. But like we heard Cohen say, being able to turn that pressure off, being able to block it out, being able to focus on the game is what's important. And we saw the Capybaras do it. Now, the real question is, can we see all of our teams do it here? And that is always the question. But we are just a few minutes away. Let me actually get a exact update for you guys on estimation of drop codes time. Oh, just so I can give you guys a little more information here. Ooh. Seems like just a couple minutes here while we wait for Division 1 here. So I'm not going to take a step away. Just going to hang out with you guys for a little bit. I feel like it's kind of up in the air whether we step away or hang out, but just going to hang out, going to have some fun, going to talk. And Coach Kyle got to be feeling good. Coach Kyle's in earshot, so I'm going to talk about him a little bit. Coach Kyle got to be feeling good about how his teams are doing, especially about the Capybaras. I know he's very satisfied with how they performed. And look, man, if we're going to be honest here, there's one thing that Coach Kyle does is he gets results. He gets results. And Capybaras are fighting for it. A lot of our Division 1 teams are fighting for it. Famous people, Guff, the Goats, the Chefs, they're all fighting for it. So, and that's not only the thing that our Division 1 teams are fighting for. Also, they are fighting for a chance to go to nationals, which, of course, we've talked about a little bit here and there, but all of our Division 1 teams have the chance to qualify for our nationals event, which is going to be down in Florida at Full Sail University next summer. So the summer of 2026, that is going to be taking place late June. All of these teams have a chance to qualify for that event. And realistically, even if teams don't win banners, especially our Division 1 team, if our Division 1 teams don't win banners, they need to make sure that they're still playing their best. They need to make sure they're still maximizing every opportunity they have to get a bunch of those points to make sure that they can go to Florida. This is a massive opportunity for a lot of our Fortnite teams to be able to book that flight and be able to book that ticket down to Florida and compete in an in-person LAN against some of the best all around, from Valhallan, from high schools, just everybody that competes in the VHEL. So, of course, we are going to want to see them do well. We're going to want to see them represent Valhallan Camp Hill. And we are going to continue to root for them, even if we don't know how they're doing. And for those of you that, I guess I didn't talk about this, we jumped into action so early. So for those of you that don't really know how playoffs work here in Fortnite, there are 4 drops. We have 4 drops. That is 2 this week, and then 2, well, they would realistically be next week, but next week, for you guys that don't know, is Thanksgiving. So we will not have any classes that week. Take a little break, take a little intermission. But then the week after, so the week of December, first week of December, is when the second week of playoffs will be for Fortnite. Now, in those 2 weeks, they will have 4 drops. So 2 tonight, 2 in the second week. The placement points from the season will carry over. So depending on how well you did in the regular season, you will get so many points for placement points. So the Corrupt Capybaras, like for example here, finished first in Division 3. So they will get the max amount of placement points possible. Then second gets so many, third gets so many, so on and so forth until you eventually get none. Now, the important part is out of the 4 drops, 1 of them gets deleted, gets eliminated, does not count. So even if the famous people, even if the chefs, even if Team Guff, even if the GOATs, even if any team in any division anywhere has a really bad, let's say drop number 1, doesn't matter, it will get dropped. They will only take the top 3 places. So even if you have a really bad drop number 3, doesn't matter, has a chance to get dropped. You just have to perform well in the other drops. So the Corrupt Capybaras have to be feeling good. They realistically still have their free drop. They ideally don't want to have to use that free drop. And realistically, would love if their free drop takes place as like a 5th. If they could finish, third and second and 5th, and then a 5th gets dropped, that is just maximizing their chances to do well. But if a team finishes badly, let's say 30th, then that drop would get replaced, and it's real no sweat, no pressure. Just have to make sure that team can come back and turn it back on in the rest of their drops. It seems like here we're going to be getting started any minute now for both, potentially Division 1 and Division 3, but have not seen any loading in or anything yet. So as soon as I see and get word on that, of course we will go back. And it seems like maybe just a minute or maybe a little less than a minute at this point. Oh, never mind. Division 1 is dropping as I speak. So we will start with the famous people, and once the Corrupt Capybaras actually get dropped, we will come back in and tune back into them. So let's tune in for the famous people. Alrighty, again, famous people is composed of Brady and Miko. I'm watching Brady's perspective here. Gonna switch up their strategy a little bit. It looks like here again, famous people going to go to an unnamed POI. Actually, looks like another couple duos very close, so they're going to have to be aware of that.
That's why coach always preaches consistency. Does that make sense, Gavin? Does that make sense? Sweet. So the fact that you guys locked in and got 3rd with 11 eliminations is a massive. That's a huge move. That's really cool.
And Brady going to chow down on some burgers real quick. Actually going to steal them. Because these are my burgers. Going to loot up here as much as possible. And we see Brady get that tack shotgun. The tack shotgun absolutely broken this season so far. So huge that he finds that at blue rarity this early on. Maybe going to give them the edge in an early or mid-game engagement here. And it seems like here, the famous people are just going to play the Fortnite that they know how to play. They prefer to play. They're going to play smart. They're going to play good fundamental Fortnite here. Going to farm some materials. Make sure that they're ready to go for this mid-game. Oh, a chainsaw. Huge item there. I would anticipate that we're going to see at least one of them pick that up. Don't know who it's going to be. It is going to be Brady. And very good movement item. in this season. There's not a lot of movement items in this season, and the chainsaw is arguably one of the best. And while famous people are going to continue to farm up a little bit here and try and get their loadout secured, let's tune in to the chefs and see how they're doing early in drop number 2 here. Right, seems like the chefs kind of switched up their playstyle a little bit. This is something that, talking to them last week, we know they've not been very satisfied with how they've been performing in this Simpsons themed season. So looks like maybe they decide to land on the edge of the map here, play a little bit slower, play a little more methodically, maybe try to use some more of that mid-range to their advantage here. We know from early on in the season, when it was the Fortnite season before the Simpsons, is that the Chefs is a very good long-range engagement team. They love to have a long range, especially Zarek. Zarek, the man with a plan when it comes to a sniper rifle in his hands. And now that the Simpsons season is not that as much more a mid to close range season, you guys have struggled quite a bit. And we see there, we talk about long-range engagements as Chef Jack, with a Mr. Blasty, lands 2 shots back-to-back and deals 90 damage. And we see again some of that mid to long range is going to find 100 damage on another player. And this might be exactly the kind of engagement here that the Chefs want to take. As the Chefs need to be careful here. When we've talked about the Chefs playing a little more slower, a little more patiently, and this is exactly what we're seeing. And this really, I think, is going to be the key that's going to flip their game. We might see them start to do a little better, is this more methodical style of play. Even though it's not the way that they prefer to play, I think it's what it's going to have to be. They're creeping around this building. I don't know if maybe they saw somebody or what I missed here, but it looks like it is clear. Since the Chefs are going to loot up, are going to farm a bit more, we're going to tune in. Oh, wait, never mind. We see combat. And Zarek able to clean it up, catching probably the Chefs, even myself, off guard. Was not expecting a team just to be lurking in the bathroom. But it doesn't matter, as the Chefs are going to be able to get some kills under their belts here. And that's exactly the kind of positive momentum that the Chefs need to have a very good drop number 2. It's exactly what you want to see from these guys. And now they're going to be able to use a little bit of time here, really make sure that they're comfortable, use some of the loadout, or some of the loot that they saw from the other team to make sure their loadouts are exactly where they want to be. And wow, what a jump start of momentum that was for the Chefs. And now, with that being said, we're going to tune in to the corrupt Capybaras and see how they're doing in their drop number 2. Let's seems like here Capybaras have quite a bit of loot. Looking from Cohen's perspective here, as he has that legendary 5-gun. We saw him laser with that in the last drop as a purple rarity. It'll be really interesting to see what Cohen's going to do with it in this drop, having the best rarities you can get. And the tac shotgun. Cohen got to be feeling very good about his loadout. Maybe ideally wish he had some better rarity of his guns here, but still, these guys have to be feeling good. Don't have an engagement quite yet. Don't have any kills under their belt, but with the corrupt Capybaras, once the first one comes, they will all follow suit. We're going to see here, going to try and get a bunch of metal off of the car trick. Honestly, having it heal up and mining it for essentially infinite metal loop. And while these guys are just going to farm a bunch of free metal, let's just do a quick switch to famous people and see how those guys are doing in this drop. Actually, some shots getting fired here. Turning into Miko's perspective. I would anticipate here that we're going to see famous people start to rotate. Miko not really having any movement items, but I assume Brady still has that chainsaw, so I'm going to try and use that to his advantage here. And Miko going to use that blinkfish. Takes a little bit of fall damage there. A little unnecessary mistake there from Miko. But just going to take over a build from another team right on the edge of circle here. And we talk about patient gameplay, talk about consistent gameplay. Famous people, one of the best teams to do it, arguably right behind the corrupt Capybaras. And while these guys get a bunch of intel and continue to play their patient game, let's tune into the chefs and see if they're still alive in drop number 2. Hiding in a bush here, trying to take some shots from Chef Jack's perspective, although he is taking quite a bit of damage here. And the chefs here maybe is surrounded a little bit. We're going to see Chef Jack use that chainsaw to try to take an engagement here. Let's see what they do. Trying not to give away their position here. Need to be careful here, though. As they see an edit, no shots have been fired quite yet. Chef Jack gonna take a dive, gonna land a couple shots, but doesn't find a knock. Zarek dives in as well, also doesn't find a knock, and both of them now very low HP wise. Need to buy some time here. need to shield up, need to heal up. Although the other team now in zone, but Chef Jack tries to take advantage of that as he finds one. And I believe that is a duo wipe there for the Chefs. And now they're going to be able to get out of this zone pretty quickly and try to get into this new circle here. And this is the kind of momentum we've seen from the Chefs all season long. This is the kind of play style we've seen from them. 4 kills. And the Chefs are on a roll. Let's see if they found their form. And they are going to do well in playoffs in this drop number 2. But let's tune. Oh, wait, never mind. Ask and you shall receive. We see more combat going on. Can the Chefs find another kill here? Are they going to take this combat? It looks like they are. Chef Jack diving in very aggressively here. Even going through Storm. Takes quite a bit of damage. Calls for the backup. And maybe going to rotate. But he rotates right into another team. And now him and Zarek are in a little bit of a sticky situation. Chef Jack are going to have to heal up here. Zarek now joining him in a decent position. Have to be wary, though, of the teams that essentially have them pinched right now. And now, this is where the Chefs really have to calm down. Really have to play patient style of Fortnite here. As we are seeing Chef Jack try to rotate around, but take some damage. And Zarek far away at this point, not having a movement item left like Chef Jack does. As it looks like Zarek gonna finally be able to join his teammate here. And these guys need to be careful. As the corrupt Capybaras are still doing very well in their drop. All of our teams still alive. Chef Jack going to take a couple of shots there with Mr. Blasty. We're going to tune back in to the corrupt Capybaras and see how well they're doing. One kill for the corrupt Capybaras. Man, every time I see the Firebird in Fortnite, it feels strange. Feels weird to see a car that I used to drive in a video game. I don't know why, it just does. Corrupt Capybaras maybe trying to line up a shot there. Elect not to take it. As all of our teams performing much better in drop number 2 here. Gonna try and use this bush here for some natural cover. And we're gonna go quick this time. Famous people, let's check in on them. Famous people still alive. Miko at half health. Gonna try and heal up here. A lot of footsteps going on around them. Let's see what they can do. But let's see if they're just gonna sit and wait. I would assume that the Chefs also still alive in this drop. Probably somewhere around famous people. Could we see a little friendly but Valhallan Camp Hill rivalry action go on here? Famous people still alive. Going to use this bush as some natural cover here. Although not in the zone. As they're just going to try and get back into their build. Let's tune into the Chefs and see if they're still alive. The Chefs are in fact still alive. A little bit of a different perspective here compared to famous people. As they see some footsteps on the visual audio indicator. Let's see what the Chefs are going to elect to do here, as it looks like they may elect to take an engagement here. Chef Jack trying to find an edit, but can't get control of the wall. As it looks like now he has control, but the other team just able to edit out in time. Chef Jack really trying to push here as they slide into the bush. Can't find anybody. Chef Jack finds a big 54, but takes a lot of damage himself. Zarek still in the clear. Chef Jack now going to have to heal up as they slide into someone else. So much chaos going on. This circle so small, but there's still 14 people left. 12 not counting the chefs. As Chef Jack is going to get eliminated. I believe that's famous people, and it is. Maybe a little bit of a caster curse. I don't know. We talked about it, and it happened. And now Zarek going to play low ground here. Ten people left. 9, not counting Zarek from the chefs, although he is going to fall as well, also to famous people. Now we're going to tune right back into them and see if they can win this drop. The team that just eliminated the chefs, 9 players left, 7 not counting famous people. Although a big shotgun shot hits Brady there. As they are getting absolutely run down. Brady can't get out of the bad situation. And famous people are going to fall to a 4th. And now, let's go back to the corrupt Capybaras and see how they're doing. Wow. And the corrupt Capybaras are doing what they do best, getting kills. And what a good finish from both the chefs and the famous people, as both of those teams were able to turn it around from not great drop number 1s and able to do very well in this drop number 2 here. I believe we saw a 5th and a 4th place, maybe a 6th and a 4th place, somewhere around there though. Very good placements. And now the famous people are the corrupt Capybaras are under a lot of pressure here. As Cohen elects to shockwave out, gonna try and heal up. But they are gonna fall as well, as the corrupt Capybaras take 5th place. And we saw phenomenal drops there all around the board. Famous people finished with a 4th place in drop number 2. The chefs, I believe, finished with a 5th or 6th place in drop number 2. Corrupt Capybaras finished with a 5th place in drop number 2 and a 3rd place in drop number 1. Just phenomenal placements. And now we have the chef himself, Chef Jack, in the booth. How are you feeling after drops tonight?
I feel very good.
Absolutely. I want to talk mainly about drop number 2, because it seems like you guys struggled a little bit drop number 1, but then really came back and found it drop number 2. So can you talk to me a little bit about the strategy switch up that you and Zarek have done?
We played it completely safe till the end game. In the end game, after end game, once end game like starts being big, we just run around, try to kill people, get refreshes, and stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before, we just camp, and then we usually find a team or two hiding that we can pick off. And we've done that twice so far, securing us 4 kills and 7th place, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay. So actually 2 very good drops overall, or a very good drop overall. I want to talk a little bit about since the switch of play style here, right? You know, you guys obviously tried to come into the Simpsons season very aggressive, and it really hadn't worked out. But now with this new strategy switch, with getting those early kills in these drops, especially with you guys playing a lot more patiently, what does an early duo wipe or 2 duo wipes, or however many kills it actually is, do for your and Zarek's momentum going into the mid and late game?
That boosts our confidence by a bunch, so we're gonna start trying to like get a kill off spawn or close towards the beginning, just to boost our confidence, and then once we do that, we're pretty much very good.
Absolutely. And now finally, I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, drop number 2 very well. Drop number 1 not as much, but drop number 1 hopefully going to be the drop that gets dropped for you guys. Still a whole nother week of Fortnite left. What are you and Zarek going to work on? What are you guys going to try and finish and clean up with this off week to try and come back and maximize your chance to take home that Division 1 banner?
I was honestly just gonna practice how we were going through. I'm in a high enough rank in Fortnite to like it be kind of like the competition here. So we're just gonna practice what we do through that and see how we could fix our game and how we could edit it and make it so we get the best placements possible.
Absolutely. Well, Chef Jack, congratulations on finding something that worked out tonight. Congratulations on a good drop, especially drop number 2. And of course, we'll be up here rooting for you guys, watching you guys, and hoping you can take home that Division 1 banner.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And next, I'm going to have maybe a little bit of a rivalry going on as the player that eliminated the chefs, Brady from Famous People, joins me in the booth. Brady, how are you feeling after those 2 drops?
First one wasn't really well, but the second one I'm feeling really good about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw the second one. You guys finished, I believe, 4th. So talk to me a little bit about what went wrong in the first one and what you guys changed to kind of transition into 4th in the second one.
So the first game, we did not have the best loot, so we ended up having to just like bush camp into the center of zone, and somebody just shot their shotgun into the bush, and then we had to build, fight, and lost.
Yep. And Brady, I want to talk, and you are in a very interesting situation here. Realistically, I would say you and Jack both in a similar situation, doing very good in one of the drops tonight, but being a duo for the no-build team that is doing very well. Now you guys have to transition into playing well in that. So what from tonight is going to carry over into no-build tomorrow night?
So tomorrow we're gonna have to deal with like other things because it won't be in like the tournament settings. So like there's gonna be like all the bosses, there's gonna be like cars, so we're gonna have to, it's gonna be a little bit more fast paced with the rotation that isn't in today. And exotic Mr. Blasty, we don't play with that in tournament settings, so we have to be aware of that because if you get shot with that, you will probably be dead.
Absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit about the friendly rivalry maybe that you and Jack have going on. Honestly, obviously you guys it's not you guys, you were the reason that they died in drop number 2. So is there any friendly banter that goes on? Can you let a little bit of an insight on what that looks like?
There's not really like any rivalry really. I didn't even notice that it was him until he said it after the game. He just kind of walked into our box and I shot him.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Brady, phenomenal drop tonight. Obviously, drop number 2. Of course, we're gonna keep an eye on you guys, keep rooting for you, and hopefully we'll get to watch you more. And who knows, maybe you'll be able to take home that Division 1 banner this season.
Hope.
Absolutely. Well, Brady, thank you very much.
All right.
And now I have the man himself coming back up. Cohen from the Capybaras is going to join me for the second time tonight in the booth. Cohen, welcome back into the booth 2 times in one night. And how are you feeling after a good drop number 2 as well?
Pretty good, yeah.
Absolutely. You guys finished 3rd and 5th. And with those placement points, you guys have to be feeling good about your placements in playoffs so far. And now you guys have done this consistently, week in and week out. And with the week break, can you talk to me if you think that that's going to bring up any challenges into playoff week number 2?
Well, as long as we have enough time on it to train and get ready for the break, then I feel like it may benefit us for that second week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys here, again, just really being super consistent. I want to talk a little bit about what kind of goes into that consistency. You know, what kind of allows you guys to perform well week in and week out, whether it be a 3rd or a 5th or a 1st or whatever that finish is.
Just got to keep calm and make sure you don't just don't bug out and gotta know your surroundings and play.
Absolutely. And we talked in between the drops a little bit about pressure. And now week 1 over, 2 phenomenal drops. Where is that pressure point for you? Has it gone up a little bit? Has it gone down a little bit? Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
It's probably gone down because we got the first one over with, and now we know what it feels like for these playoffs, and I think I'm ready.
Absolutely. Well, Cohen, congratulations on 2 phenomenal drops. Of course, we're going to be up here rooting for you guys, watching you guys, and cheering you on. And hopefully we'll see you take home that Division 3 banner. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And now, the man himself, Coach Kyle, going to make his way into the booth. Coach Kyle.
You know, I got to say, it's really nice not having to go up after Zarek for once. Now, I don't know what it says that Cohen is like about my height, but like, you know what? I'll take it.
Coach Kyle, welcome into the booth. And how are you feeling after some turnaround Fortnite?
I feel great. It was a great night.
Absolutely.
It was a fantastic night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to unpack, a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm
Corrupt-
excited to be up here. This is sweet.
Corrupt Capybaras.
Yeah.
3rd and 5th.
Let's talk about it.
We talk about Mr. Consistency as a team, and then
Yeah.
they are arguably it. So
Oh, yeah.
what feelings, what good sense do you have that's gonna hopefully take those guys to take home a banner?
I mean, you probably heard a lot of my in-game comms. Like, if you were watching at home, you should watch at home, everybody. Tune into the Valhallan Twitch. Coach Christian does a great job. No, but you probably heard a lot of my comms of just like, you know, it's at this point, right, it's the fundamentals. I don't need to work with Cohen or Gavin on like the Twitch reflexes or how to build or all that stuff. But like, it's the remaining calm. You know, taking a couple second, reloading our weapons, taking a couple second, you know, after we've gotten a great fight to do a reset. Not immediately jumping to re-heal. You probably saw that in match 2 where we're wasting a bunch of chug splash and it's like, guys, we have a full med kit and a big bot we can use first, and then we can use the stuff that, you know, is really helpful in a pinch when you have only a couple seconds to do the reset. So it's that little stuff. It's that taking a time, taking a little bit of you probably heard Cohen mention it actually during his interview, but being calm, right? Taking that time, taking a second to take stock, be calm, reset, and move forward. So.
And talking about calm and resetting here, we saw both famous people and chefs not do very well in drop number 1, but be calm and reset and do exactly what they needed to do to turn it around in drop number 2. I believe we saw a 4th there from famous people and like a 6th or 7th or somewhere around
it was like
there.
5th or 6th, I think.
Yeah, from the chefs. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So, I mean, again, that's kind of what you go with when you're talking about like the veteran level of a player. And that's really the stuff that you can't teach because it comes with experience. This is something you and I know intrinsically as people who have played at the professional level before, where it's like sometimes you're going to have bad beats. You're going to have a rough day. You're going to have an off game. Your opponent is just going to have your number every second of every minute of every day.
Literally last night for me.
Yeah. Me too. I was like, I queued into the worst matchup in the game that I'm like a professional level player at. And it's like, oh, this sucked. And then you log in the next day and then it's all right. But that comes with time and that comes with experience. That poise is something that can be taught, but it must be taught over a long period of time. And again, when you talk about players who absorb information like a sponge, Zarek, Jack, Brady, Miko, like those are players who over time will absorb it like a sponge, and it shows, right? That poise is something that sort of comes out in adversity. So I'm not shocked, I'm not surprised. If anything, I'm like, oh, cool, that was, you know, business as usual for them.
And now we got to talk about it. It seems like at this point you have, I don't know, 10 million banners or something. And arguably feeling good about maybe another 2 here. Realistically, 1 from Corrupt Capybaras and maybe 1 from Division 1 if they can continue to perform. So what are you doing as the coach here, not only in the off week, but in the last week of playoffs here to kind of tweak these guys to make sure that they're ready to go and they are playing consistent Fortnite?
So I want to talk about the thing that we do, which I think is the most important thing, which does not occur in game, right? And that's building the team culture. There's, you know, wonderful quote from Remember the Titans where it's like attitude reflect leadership. If you have bad leadership, you're going to have a bad time.
Yep.
And like having kids have a space where they feel welcome, where they feel encouraged to take risks, where they feel encouraged to experiment, to develop leadership skills, to know that like they can trust me, but that I also trust them, and that it's a two-way street, that I expect a lot from them, but they can also expect a lot from me and from all the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
I think that really is, like you talk about a winning culture, right? It has to start with that,
Yep.
right? And that's out of game. Which is kind of cool thing. Oh, and Riz, by the way, which is what Lachlan is showing me off screen. Yes, it's a great quote from Remember the Titans. Thanks, Lach. But yeah, I think but that's part of it, right? Is like if you make a place where people feel welcome, they're going to feel comfortable winning.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, making mistakes, right? Like I can't tell you the number of times where someone's like, "Oh, I suck at this," and I'm like, "Good." Sucking at something is the
not gonna
first
be
start to
perfect at
getting
everything.
good. Yeah. Show me somebody who was great that didn't suck at first, and
Yep.
I'll show you a liar. But then beyond that, right, it starts with, an overarching view. We do a lot on map analysis, at least I do, on item placement, on the overall, what I like to call the game flow. So like, for example, you probably heard us talk at the beginning. We talked about how the Simpsons, all of the launch pads are all in the outside center.
Yep.
All of the flow trucks are all in the outside center, which means once the storm starts to shrink, you are on your own in terms of mobility and healing, because it's designed to be a really hard fighting close range match. You probably heard me talk to Cohen off camera where I was like, dude, if you find 2 of the new exotic weapon this season, that's like 5 guns all duct taped together, carry 2 of them, because you're going to be in a bunch of close range engagements anyway. And I don't care. Like, and that's the thing, is like, you have to have those sort of macro level adjustments to be successful. And then beyond that, it's just making sure that you're helping every kid develop their own unique talents, right? Like Gavin does not need my help fragging out. I watched Gavin.
He got like 7 kills by himself.
Like, I'm watching him jump around like a pogo stick with like steroids. Just like, I literally like, dude, at one point, were you an old Wild West gunslinger in a past life? Like, what in the OK Corral was this? And Gavin's just laughing at me. He doesn't need my help with that. But in terms of taking stock of a situation, giving himself a minute to calm down, thinking about those kinds of things, like how do I reset after a really great fight? That is the stuff he needs me for. So working to identify each kid's individual skills as an esports athlete is a huge deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't have said any better myself. Well, Coach Kyle, congratulations on some phenomenal Fortnite tonight. Thank you so much for your time up here. And of course, maybe a little salty. I know the coaches have a little bit of a rivalry. And I don't think I'm catching up to you anytime soon.
Listen. I know that's true, but like I'm sitting there going, I'm like, come on, win a freaking Rocket League banner, come on.
Hey, we got one. We got one.
We do.
Up there.
I know. I want a second one though,
I
because you guys have been so dominant.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's the thing. It's like it's all love. It's like,
absolutely.
Yeah, all of us are doing right. So
absolutely.
Hey, thank you, Coach Christian,
thank you
for your
very
time.
much. Alrighty, well, that is going to be it here for us at the Valhallan Camp Hill. Thank you guys so much for watching. And with that being said, tune in probably tomorrow, where we will have either some Fortnite Zero build or some Overwatch, as both of Overwatch team has made playoffs, and I believe quite a few of our Fortnite Zero build teams have made playoffs as well. So tune in potentially tomorrow for that. And until then, from myself, Coach Christian, and everybody here at Valhallan Camp Hill, thank you guys so much, and good night, everybody.